Hey, what's up? It's Domestic Rockstar, and I'm back. On this episode, we are going to talk about BroMetal, and I'm going to review All That Remains and At the Drive-In. So what is BroMetal? Well, it's metal played by bros, to be kind of a smartass. But really, Urban Dictionary describes it as heavy metal music characterized by themes such as being tough and powerful, drinking beer, partying with your friends, talking back to your boss or your parents, fighting and bouncing back after a bad experience or breakup because of the strength you derive from your tight-knit circle of male friends. Similar to metalcore, but listeners are more likely to be dressed more casually in cargo pants and flip-flops, while metalcore listeners favor tight jeans and skater branded t-shirts. This is from Urban Dictionary, not necessarily my opinion. Usually enjoyed in festival settings where 10 or more bands play outside. Representative groups include Devil Driver, Hatebreed, As I Lay Dying, As Blood Runs Black, 6 Feet Under, Five Finger Death Punch, All That Remains, Asking Alexandria, and others. The big ones for me are definitely Hatebreed, All That Remains, As I Lay Dying. Most of those bands, they kind of sound similar. Most bro metal is very misogynistic, has undertones of sexism, and has a lot of really masculine type lyrics, really driving crunchy riffs. They want to sound the hardest as they possibly can. Most of the time they are disrespecting women or bragging about their conquests more subtly than rappers do. But yeah, it's bro metal. I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure you have heard the term. It recently started popping up for me over the last couple of years, and I just thought it was hilarious because we all see those bros with their big ass trucks and their camo hats blasting metal with their metal militia stickers on the back, and most of the time they're douchebags, but not all of them. I'm not generalizing fans of that music to be one type, because there's all different types of fans. Like, you can like that stuff, but for the most part, like, I don't know, the stereotype is there. And I guess I'm guilty of feeding into that stereotype because I believe it. But those bands, like All That Remains, usually sound really overproduced. They pretty much sound the same. They usually paid some overly expensive other bro metal dude from a more popular band to produce their album, or come guest star with them on stage. Some of the local bands that fall into that category usually don't stick around very long because they have either a guitar player or a singer with a huge ego, and they tend to fight a lot. So most of the time they can't keep their bands together. But then there's big bands like All That Remains and As I Lay Dying, which obviously dude was sexist, but we won't discuss that. So All That Remains Madness came out over the last week and a half, and I wanted to do some more reviews of albums on the show. So I took a listen to this one, and it reminded me once again why I'm not a fan of All That Remains. Funny story, I met Phil, the singer, at NAMM a while back. We were talking about digital distribution and getting our music out there, having not being a signed band like they were, and it was back when the industry was taking one of its biggest hits financially. So he picked my brain a little bit about that, but he didn't even ask my name, didn't ask what band I was in. I gave him a sticker and said cool, check it out, but I don't know, nothing ever came of it. But this album in particular it's not my cup of tea, to say the least. The highlight of the album, I feel, is the opening song, Safe House, which is pretty driving. It has some crunchy riffs, it has a little bit of bounce to it, which is what I kind of like. But for the most part, the rest of the album is crap. And the low light, of course, is the Garth Brooks cover, Thunder Rolls. Phil has a reputation for speaking his mind, especially on like Twitter and social media. He at shows has been very sexist and made some pretty rude comments. He gets off on like pissing people off and not really caring how they feel about things. I don't know if he has this character and he's just trying to appease his BroMetal fans by having that kind of attitude, but for the most part I'm not interested. They're one of the bands that I don't buy their albums for a reason. I listen to it on Spotify to review it, and that's about it. But if you are a BroMetal fan and you want to wear your cargo shorts and camo hat and run around punching things, disrespecting women, then this might be the album for you. Now for something completely different.
And now for something completely different.
At the DriveIn is back. Their album comes out May 5th. If I get this out on time, it will be coming out on the day that it's released. And it's called Intertalia. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's awesome. It's been 17 years since we've had an At the DriveIn album, and it was totally worth it. This is the perfect album for all of the dreams that you've been waiting for at the DriveIn. All the rumors have fed into this moment when it comes out. Now, it's not as produced as some of the last albums. It's very raw, more punk rock feeling than the polished albums that they've done before, but it's totally worth it. I'm so glad that they're back together. Sans original guitar player, but if you were a fan of Sparta, if you were a fan of Mars Volta, that's great, but nothing fed the need like At the DriveIn, the original At the DriveIn, and they're back. Cedric has one of those voices that will forever bring memories back to me, just like the singer from Glassjaw. Like, I hear his voice and it just brings back memories of the early 2000s and like when I became super passionate about wanting to be in a band, and that totally is met and satiated in this album. I'm stoked that it's out and I can't wait to see them on tour, hopefully soon. Like I said, it is very punk rock, not as polished as before, so don't be expecting a Ross Robinson type album like they had done before, but hopefully they go on tour soon. They already have it, well, they have a couple singles out on Spotify. I'm sure they'll release the whole album tomorrow, which is May 5th. So check it out. There's some merch on there too. Support them, keep those guys going. We know we love some At the DriveIn.
And now for something completely different.
Okay, and I'm gonna try my hand at one of these Q&A things. So I went on social and I asked some of my friends on my Facebook if I were to do a Q&A, what questions they would want me to answer. They're totally off topic with what I normally answer, but here they are. What would be your WWE character and backstory? Now, confession, I'm not a fan of WWE, and I know that I'm probably gonna piss off some of my friends, but I really haven't watched wrestling since like maybe the early 90s. I remember when wrestling was on like early in the morning on Saturdays, I want to say, and I used to watch Jake the Snake, the Junkyard Dog, and the Bushwhackers. I remember those, but when I got older I wasn't much of a fan. So I think I would make it align somehow with The Undertaker because he was one of my favorite. He was super scary, super tall. I would probably be a demoness that came back from the dead to kind of revenge or seek revenge on people that hurt The Undertaker. I'd want to be really witchy and goth. I'm normally like super light and colorful, not so goth, so I'd want to totally try that out and be a gothy WWE diva. Is that what they're called? I guess, I don't know. My friend Erin asked, you are a comic book supervillain. What is your plan for world domination? I would steal everybody's technology and make them earn it back. Kind of like how I make my kid earn video game time when he gets bad grades. I would take everything and they would have to owe me. No technology unless they did stuff for me. That would be it. My mom punishment coming there. But I would take cell phones, the internet, TVs, all the electronic items. Only the people that live way out in the middle of nowhere in Alaska with no electricity or technology would be unaffected by my domination. And I wouldn't want to mess with them anyway because they're probably like hunting bears and stuff, and that would be kind of scary. My friend Stefan asks, Jesse Leach or Howard Jones of Killswitch? So I was a fan of Killswitch a while ago, and I kind of stopped being so much of a fan until Jesse came back. Back in the day, Howard and Killswitch played some award show. It was either the Golden Gods or the Revolver Rock Awards or something. There's only like 2 metal shows that have awards, so it was one of those. But they were playing up on stage, and he was wearing these super tight pants, and they were black, and he had a black shirt on, and his pants were so tight you could totally see his junk. And when he would breathe, you could like see it move and stuff, and it was so weird. It would be like a female wearing super tight pants on stage and having like a camel toe. Like, you wouldn't be able to pay attention to her talent or her singing. You'd basically be looking at her camel toe the whole time. So that kind of turned me off. I stopped like really being into them. But last year I got to see Killswitch with Jesse, and their new album I really like. I wish they would do better with their artwork, because I really feel their artwork is kind of, I don't know, cliche when it comes to their album art, and it's kind of been really aligned, very similar over the last few albums. But I like Jesse. He was a super nice guy when I met him. He seems really humble and brings a lot of substance to the lyrics and the vocals in the band. He seems really happy to be back, and I like him. I think he's doing a great job. Super talented, super nice guy. I would love to hang out with those guys. I got to meet them, but we didn't really get to hang out. Adam seems like he would be a blast to get drunk with, but would probably embarrass the shit out of me. But yeah, I'm definitely a Jesse Leach fan. And then my friend Lloyd asked, how many lows could Rob Lowe rob if Rob Lowe could rob lows? I don't know. Let's ask Rob Lowe.
0.
So thank you guys for watching. I gave you the definition of BroMetal in my opinion. I gave you a review of All That Remains Madness. I gave a review of At the Drive-In's new album in 17 years and gave a quick Q&A. Keep liking, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.